Hi everyone, my name is Celine and welcome to our sixth session in our webinar series on Super Dads, Super Kids. If you missed our first 5 sessions, no worries, you can always go back after this session and watch them. But each session is designed to stand on its own. The whole series of Super Dads, Super Kids was developed by Dad Central and is focused on responsible fathers. Men who make a conscious choice to be the solid role model kids are longing for and need today. And in today's session, we will be looking at different aspects of a child's physical health, including activity, nutrition, and injury prevention. Now, how many times a day did you hear this growing up? Get outside, get some fresh air, and move your muscles. Our parents had the right idea. The body is like a machine. The parts need to be kept active in order to keep functioning. And we need to add the right elements in order to keep it working properly. Part of a healthy lifestyle is keeping a body active, exercise, and watching what we put into it, nutrition. Now, a super dad teaches his child to look after their body by staying active and eating well. And this session is designed to give dads some ideas about how to do this. I'd like to briefly share some facts about children's health, just so we can start to understand the importance of this topic. Now, about 1 in 3 boys and 1 in 4 girls are overweight. This is a significant increase in the past 30 years. 45% of children aren't getting enough calcium for their bones to develop properly. And children are spending an average of 6 hours per day in front of computer, TV, or video games. And finally, the most common reason children stop playing sports is that it's not fun. Now, Dad, you have a very important role in this and can make sure that this is not the case. Now, there are so many things that keep children from being as active as they need to be, including video games, computer time, the amount of homework and school requirements, influence of friends, role modeling of parents, self-esteem and obesity, lack of opportunity or encouragement to get active, quality and quantity of meals and snacks, high costs, accessibility, and skill. These are some of the most highly rated barriers to children's activity as reported by parents. Some of those barriers will resonate with you, while others won't. But just because there are barriers doesn't mean we can't find a way around them. So I want you to think of attainable and realistic ways to get active with your child. Maybe you could coach their sports team or help them practice their sport. Maybe you could play your child's sport with them or teach them yours. You could create an obstacle course or build a fort together. Roughhouse with your kids. Rough and tumble play with Dad has so many benefits for them. Explore nature and go for walks, hikes, or bike rides. Another great way to keep your kid active is to be active and role model it yourself. Your kids look up to you and will do what you do. And don't forget to use lots of words of encouragement around activity. By getting active with your child, you're keeping your child healthy, yourself healthy, and you're deepening that ever so important bond and attachment with your child. A great way to build a healthy lifestyle is to discover the things that can lead to poor or super physical health, as well as the effects those decisions can have on your child. So for example, some causes of poor health include portions being too big, sugary snacks, processed food, eating in front of the TV, and having more than 1 hour of screen time a day. And some of the effects of poor health can lead to diabetes, feeling lazy, more tense and uptight, less energy, more likely to have an injury, and obesity. However, this doesn't have to be the case. There are so many things that can lead to having super health, such as 60 to 90 minutes of physical activity per day, eating whole grains and lots of fruits and vegetables, reducing non-active time, walking to school, drinking 3 to 4 glasses of water per day, involving your child in grocery shopping, and having them eat a balanced, healthy breakfast. These kind of things positively influence your child's health and can lead to strong bones, less stress, more flexibility, higher endurance, better concentration and focus, a strong heart, and can improve their mental health. Now, this is just scratching the surface when it comes to the causes and effects of poor or super health. But I hope it starts to get you thinking about things you can do to build a healthier lifestyle. So how can we encourage a healthy lifestyle for our children and achieve those effects of super health? Well, a key step in building a healthy lifestyle is to help children be aware of the issues that affect their health. This will encourage them to choose to be healthy themselves. The following 5 ways highlights how you can encourage a healthy lifestyle. Now, the first way is to involve your child in the process. They will be far more motivated if they play a part in the decision-making process. Help them become aware of how much they do now and how inactive they may be. This idea is essential to the next step. The second way is to set goals with your child. Goal setting helps children check their own progress. If you have more than one child, it might be helpful to set a goal to which they can all contribute to. And strive for the goal. Check the results to find out what is working and what's not. And if needed, revise the goal and try again. A third way you can encourage a healthy lifestyle is to give feedback and praise. Talk about what the child did to be active every day and praise and reward the small steps. The next way you can encourage a healthy lifestyle is to get children to agree to the plan. Talk often about physical activity goals with the whole family to encourage the children to do what they said that they would do. And finally, remember to reward and recognize change. Reinforce new behavior and celebrate successes through reward and recognition. Now, before we move into the injury prevention aspect of physical health, I want to end with 3 tips to help encourage a healthy lifestyle. The first one is to be a good, healthy role model yourself. Children do what we do, not what we say. Tip number 2 is that positive reinforcement works far better than fear and punishment. And finally, the mealtime atmosphere is just as important as the food being served. All right, injury prevention time. Unintentional accidents and injuries are the primary reason for children to visit a hospital emergency room. Now, all children are prone to hurting themselves. However, many accidents are preventable through careful attention to the environment and to the child's behavior. The thing about dads and injuries is that dads may push the limits in their play with children. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This has tremendous benefits. Increased coordination and confidence, a different level of fun and enjoyment, opportunity to experience new things and grow, just to name a few. However, more risk also opens the door to the potential for more injury. It's very important that a father allows his child to take risks, but is attentive, careful, and aware of the environment the child is in. This part of the webinar is designed to give you some ideas about the risks around the environments that children live in and how to prevent injury through prevention and supervision. Now, to get you thinking about children and injuries, I have an injury quiz for you. So my first question is true or false? Children are rarely injured at home. What do you think? The answer is false. On average, 18,000 emergency room visits are a result of injuries to children related to items around the home. Next question. What type of furniture causes the greatest number of injuries when it tips over? A, televisions, B, bookcases, C, dressers, or D, wardrobes? What do you think? The answer is A, televisions. TV sets are heavy and hard, and if they fall on children, it can result in head injuries, broken bones, crushed nerves, and internal injuries. Anchors, ankle braces, or furniture straps can be used to secure TVs to the wall. And when mounting a flat screen TV to the wall, ensure that you will follow the manufacturer's instructions and use the brackets that they recommend. Many TVs fall as a result of using the wrong brackets. All right, how old should a child be before they can sleep on the top bunk? A, 5 years old, B, 6 years old, C, 7, or D, 8? The answer is 6 years old. The majority of injuries related to bunk bed use are a result of a fall from the top bunk. Children 5 and under are at the greatest risk of being injured while on the top bunk. True or false? The only way to find out about a product recall is if you happen to hear about it on the news. What do you think? The answer is false. The Health Canada website has all of the information about recalled items. This is the most reliable place for this information. All right, last question. Which type of window coverings has been linked with childhood strangulation? A, Roman shades, window blinds, curtains, or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. Children have been injured by becoming entangled in window covering cords. Different window coverings, such as drapes without cords or roller blinds, are safer for kids. So when it comes to the most common injuries for kids, unintentional injuries, car accidents, falls, burns and cuts, drowning, and as pedestrians top the list. The next activity we are going to do is designed to give us a chance to discover and think about some of the things that can lead to these injuries and how we can prevent them. So I'm going to show you an image of an object that could cause injury, and I would like you to think about how a child could injure themselves and how we could prevent it. Here is the first one. So when it comes to biking, what are some ways kids can hurt themselves? Well, they could fall or get hit by a car. This can lead to head injuries, scrapes, or broken bones. Now, this doesn't mean we shouldn't allow them to bike. Biking is so good for kids. But we can think of ways to limit and prevent injuries, such as making sure that they're wearing a helmet, that they have a clear path or training wheels if they need it. Next one. How can kids hurt themselves from an electrical plug? This one may seem pretty straightforward, but they could shock themselves. But again, there are ways to prevent this from happening, such as plug protectors and active supervision. Okay, final one. How can kids hurt themselves in a bathtub? Well, they could potentially drown, hit their head on the spout, or burn themselves if the water is too hot. And how can we prevent these injuries? Well, active supervision is a great start. No child under 5 should ever be left alone in the bath, not even with a sibling. Having a slip guard on the bottom of the tub and a rug on the bathroom floor can prevent slipping. And we should also always test the water before placing a child in the bath, just so they don't burn themselves. A good tip is to test the water on the inside of your wrist. Now, dads are among the best teachers for children's safe behavior. There are many ways to keep children safe from injury. And two things for dads to keep in mind are prevention and supervision. Though not foolproof, children are less likely to get injured when a parent is proactive in looking around the environment for unsafe items or situations, and is paying close attention to what they're doing and where they are doing it. Now, before I close, I would like to share a few resources with you that I can email you if you'd like. The first one is a home safety checklist. Walk around your home or apartment and look for safety issues. I encourage you to get down on your hands and knees and crawl around at kid level, especially if you have infants and toddlers. I can also send you information sheets overviewing some of the things that we discussed today. Finally, if you have any questions or would like the resources I discussed in the previous slide, please email me at earlyon.admin@niagara.ymca.ca. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you in our final session where we will be discussing family, life, and work balance. Bye for now.